Hi there. Today's video is a response to Crash Course video, John Green. If a lot of your high school teachers and others use it, middle school teachers, I use it a lot in my classes. And so this is a response to John Green's video. John Green did a video on the Dark Ages, and overall it was a good video, but I did have some criticisms of that video. He seems to dismiss the contributions of Europe in order to play up the contributions of the Far East and Near East. While I realize this is Crash Course World History, not Crash Course European History, I believe John does a disservice to the contributions of Europe during the Middle Ages. A couple of points first. One, I don't have a studio, a director, an intern, a thought bubble, and such. I don't even have a globe. I looked for one today, but my house is globaless. It feels so empty now. Anyway, to the term Dark Ages, I realize John uses Dark Ages and Middle Ages. Dark Ages is not used by historians. It is not Eurocentric. It was coined by Renaissance writers, most particularly Petrarch, to make themselves look more educated and enlightened than those who came before them in the Middle Ages. So instead of being Eurocentric, it's actually more of a Renaissance-centric term. Yes, I just made up a word, Renaissance-centric. Europe is not the cultural backwater from 500 to 1450 AD. Did they have magnificent cities like Rome or Alexandria? No. They lost some things like running water and plumbing and such, but let's look at what they did accomplish. They abolished slavery. Did China do that? No. Did North Africa and the Near East do that? No. Dar es Salaam had slaves. Cathedrals. Pretty impressive accomplishment. I mean, buildings so amazing and tall with thinner walls and huge stained glass windows, pretty important in architectural history. John Green points out the Great Mosque of Cordoba was in Spain, was built pretty quickly, but which was more impressive and more important to architectural history, the invention of the cathedral or the Mosque of Cordoba. You can debate that in the comments below. What about universities? The oldest universities in the world, Bologna, Oxford, Salamanca, Cambridge, are all European universities, and when did they start? Yes, the Middle Ages. What about Roger Bacon? Wasn't he a pretty important guy in the history of science? He lived in the Middle Ages. He described the method of observation, prediction, hypothesis, and experimentation, also adding that results should be independently verified. Pretty darn impressive and incredibly important to the history of science. Another European Middle Age contribution. Not to mention Alcuin of York, or Thomas Brederwijn, or William of Ockham. Occam's razor guy. Did anyone, without navigation, did anyone in the Far East or Near East pull off the same type of navigation that the Vikings did as they sailed around the North Atlantic in Europe? What about culture? Carolinian Renaissance that flowered under Charlemagne, who also gave us Carolinian minuscule, pretty important. Dante, Chaucer. He may be Eurocentric to say, but didn't their works rival anything else written during the Middle Ages? Well, I'll leave that up for scholars to debate, but I think Chaucer and Dante are pretty darn important. I could go on. There was the Magna Carta, the invention of the 12-man jury system, the beginnings of the parliamentary system, but I think I made my point. And I will add one last thing. After the Middle Ages, which part of the world advanced the furthest and fastest in technology, science, and exploration? Which part of the world in the Middle Ages laid the groundwork for such advancement? In Crash Course on the Renaissance, John Green points out that the Italian Renaissance happened because of lots of Italian money. Where did that money come from? Did it just magically appear in 1450, or was it amassed over the later part of the 20th century, or the Middle Ages, thanks to increases in trade in Italy and the Mediterranean? So for world history, what happened in the Middle Ages in Europe was at least as equally important as it happened elsewhere. And if that is Eurocentric of me, so be it. It seems John Green is attempt to counter the Eurocentric point of view went a little bit overboard to be anti-Eurocentric. Is anti-Eurocentric another word I just created? Who knows? Anyway, I'm sorry, my cat is distracting me by attacking my curtains down to the right. Psst, stop! Cut it out! Not stop. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching. If you have any critiques, constructive criticisms, comments, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section or make a video of your own. I look forward to hearing from you and reading your comments if you have some. And to then, please share, subscribe, shout it from the rooftops, make DVD copies and send them to your neighbors, wake the kids, show them this video. And till we meet again,